And welcome.
Good morning.
Good
Howdy,
evening,
everybody. In the future, in the past, all these people.
Got it all covered.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, welcome everybody. It's good to see everybody. We'll get going here. Let's see. How was everybody's Sunday? I know Lindy's sore today.
I'm very sore today. I've started a fitness challenge with Lynn, Midlife Carnivore. We're doing just a chair workout, which you wouldn't think it would be hard, but for me it is. And I'm very sore today. My thighs are killing me because you have to march sitting on your chair, and it's just I'm not used to that movement.
Not used to it, right?
And so I discovered a whole bunch of muscles that I never knew existed. Yeah, and she was busy today. So we're doing a 30-day challenge, but today's a rest day because she's busy. And I thought I'm taking advantage of that as well because she's very sore. So I don't feel too bad because she's suffering as well. So I think I'm doing pretty well that I managed to do this chair exercise 2 days in a row. I will jump probably on the walking pad later and just get some steps and try because I obviously need to strengthen my legs. My legs are pretty cactus, but maybe a different movement than doing this chair exercise today. So still plan on getting some movement in, just a little bit different today. But we should be back tomorrow with our chair challenge.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, I was watching you and I was pretty inspired. I thought, man, you're moving so much better now. Do you think that it's easier now that you had the skin surgery?
Oh, God, I would not have been able to do this challenge with that skin that I had. I didn't have a lap at all. I've now got a lap, but the problem is because my legs have been sedentary with all this weight on top of it for so long, I don't have the strength to even lift my legs. My legs are very, they're big anyway with the lymphedema under not really lymphedema, the lipedema. I have very big thighs. And I don't have the strength to lift my legs from a seating position to, Coach Lisa was lifting them right up and touching her elbows. I'm like, I can't even get them like a little bit off the ground.
Right.
So I really have to try and strengthen my core and my back because, my legs are just used to being, sedentary with this big weight sitting on top of them. So I've got a lot of strength training to do to be able to get to that kind of movement. But, it is what it is, and I'm going to get there. But every day I've got to just nip at it a little bit every day, and I'll get there. So, yeah.
Absolutely, Will. No, that's awesome. Let's see here.
We got a question right away about Lindy working out.
Yes, we are working out tomorrow, 4:30 a.m. my time. What would that be for you guys? I think it's noon Central, around 11:30, 12 noon Central time for Lynn.
Yeah, I think noon or no, it's 1 o'clock because you went into open chat last time, which is 2 o'clock my time. So it's 1 o'clock Mountain time.
Because we just had our daylight saving, so that totally threw us out.
Yeah,
so we had to schedule.
You're 7.
Lynn will send me the link today, and then we'll get that posted, and hopefully it'll notify you when we go live. But yes, we are doing it tomorrow.
That's awesome. Let's see. Oh, we should do the show of the Montana meetup, huh? We got to start doing that better. We're so bad at YouTubing, and we put stuff together, and then we don't ever do what we're supposed to do. So The Montana meetup on the 4th of July and the 5th of July here in Bozeman, Montana, which is my neck of the woods. Come on out and see us. It's going to be, and there's so many more people showing up that aren't even here. I believe Lisa Wiederman's coming. Dr. Phil Smith from the Steak and Butter Gang is coming, and there's a bunch more invites out. So there's going to be several more people as this shapes up. But for now, we got this panel here that you see, plus Lisa Wiederman and Dr. Phil Smith is all going to come out. And there's more people from the SBG gang that are coming as well. So come on out and see us. So there's 3 different events. We have one 6-hour barbecue and fireworks display, weather depending. Sometimes we get our fireworks banned if it's too dry because they don't want to cause forest fires here. But weather depending, we should have some fireworks that you guys can check out. But definitely a 6-hour barbecue with everybody here on the panel, plus a big carnivore community that's coming out to see us. And we're going to be serving beef and buffalo and hopefully even elk, it's looking like. And so we're putting that together, and possibly Rocky Mountain oysters will be on the menu, but you'll definitely have your fill. And then the 5th, we have 2 events. We have one that's a 6-hour presentation and Q&A with the entire panel. And then after that, we have a VIP dinner, which is a 4-hour dinner, but it's capped at 50 people. And that is designed so that anybody that wants to have one-on-one time to have some big conversations with the doctors, maybe they have some real serious things that they need answered, or just a bunch of questions they wanted. It gives you more of an intimate gathering so that you can have more of the doctors and presenters here. So definitely come on out and check it out. You can find that at sbg.events.
And you get to meet Todd. So bring your cowboy hats and yeah.
I'm coming. I'm coming to the party because it's my party. So
Hide your steaks.
Hide your steaks. We'll have an eating contest, and we'll see if you guys can whoop me. So you see why I'm cutting my steaks so thick in that video is because I'm practicing. I can't be outdone in my own party. That'd be embarrassing. So
That steak looked really good. I have to link your video in the chat to go and check it out.
For sure. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Sarah, are you coming? Yes, Todd. Yeah, those steaks are awesome. But Sarah, it sounds like she might. Oh, yeah, I think you did say that you're coming to the party. That's going to be awesome. Can't wait to meet you. It's going to be incredible. Whoops. Did I do something?
I'm not in the screen, so what happened?
Okay, no worries.
I'm not touching. I've got my coffee here, so
I was pulling up your link for your steaks.
That's awesome, Joe. Yeah, that's going to be a good time. Somebody's got to give me a run for the money.
Maybe I'll do one of those eating challenges. You've been talking about it.
Well, we're doing one in Wyoming for sure because they're putting up the old 96er, but it wouldn't be bad to try it. Maybe I'll see if I can eat Dr. Baker under the table. He eats a lot of steak in those videos.
Bella will outdo you both, I reckon.
She will. We're both going to get beat by a 120-pound woman.
If you can organize that, I want to come to Montana just to see that. There you go. There's your mission.
For sure. Oh, I definitely wouldn't bring the dog because the fireworks, he's going to lose his mind when the fireworks go off. That'd be a problem, but maybe.
I think Bella's bringing her dog.
Well, yeah, but not at the party. She's going to leave him at the Airbnb.
Right.
So, yeah. There you go. Maybe I'll see if Dr. Baker wants to have a steak off. For sure. And then let's see. Oh, feel free to critique me on the steak video. I suck at making videos. And so this was the first shot at making a real put together video, and it was 50-50 on that, but we'll do better in the future. Yeah. So I think that Ninja air fryers had somewhere between 12 and 1,400 steaks put through it, the one you saw in that video. I'm not joking. I mean, every bit of that, and I've tried them every way, and that's why I've got that thing dialed in. And this is the way that I like them the most, because I've grown to like rarer steaks, but I'll also like a crazy good bark on the outside. But when I've tried thinner ones cooked from frozen, they feel a little watered down on the inside because the water gets in the middle and the juice is watered down. It's just not as flavorful. But what crazy thing that happens on those thick steaks is when you put them in there and they're 2.5, 3 inches thick, they shrink down to like 2 inches. But because all the white tissue and the fat breaks down, but then that big piece of meat catches all the fat, and so all the water and everything gets steamed out of there, but it catches all the broken down white tissue and collagen and everything that breaks down in the fat, and it catches it in that meat, and those things are just dripping with juice, but the juice isn't water. It's not watered down. It's all flavor. So it's just got a way more intense, juicy, tender flavor. I quite enjoy them that way. And then if you could, that video didn't do any justice. It sounds like you're cutting a pork rind when you cut that skin. Like it is crunchy. It's crazy. So, all right. Should we do some comments?
Yep.
All right. I came in late. Still didn't hear how to find the exercise challenge. Lindy?
Yeah, just go to my channel. We're doing Lynn, Midlife Carnivore, and myself are doing an exercise challenge, 30 days. It's an like a chair challenge. So we went through a program with Coach Lisa, and she's promised us another 4 sessions of doing different types of chair exercises. So it's for all levels. If you're more advanced, you can actually do the exercises standing up, but Lynn and I are doing it from our seats because we're not quite there yet. So anybody can join. And I think Thomas, Target Prime Rib, is going to join us next time. So that'll be nice as well.
That's awesome. Can't wait to see you, Thomas. All right. And Beth, this for you, Lindy.
So grateful for Lindy, Lynn, and Coach Lisa for this exercise challenge. Yeah, it's so good to have. Like, the support in the group is fantastic, and it's good to know that it's not just us two making a fool of ourselves online. We're actually doing it with everybody. Everyone's sharing in the experience and all working towards our goal, and just having the accountability and so much support is really making it fun for us. So I hate exercise, but to see that we're making a difference and there's everyone else is joining us and we're inspiring people, it feels really good. So yeah, we love seeing everybody in there. So thank you. Thanks, Beth. Yeah.
That's awesome. Cranky Carnivore John. I like this. You're on, John. He says, if I can come, I'll challenge you to a Mount Oyster eating contest. You're on. You better bring your appetite. I don't know what we're going to do with all that mojo when we're done, though. Oh, that's funny. What version of the Ninja Grill do you have? There are 2 versions of the Ninja 6-in-1 grill. I like the older one. The newer one is that rounded one, but I have the older one, and so you can still find the older one that's kind of squared off, and that's the one that I have, and that's the one that I keep giving the link to people for because I can vouch for that one. I don't know if the new rounded off one, I'm sure it's fine, but I don't have that one because mine's a couple years old now. And that was the only one that it had. So I have the older version that's more square and not as round and stubby looking. But
yeah, I've got the square one too. I've had it for a while and I love it.
It's fantastic. Such a good girl.
I think we've done double the steaks because I've got 2. My husband and I eat them. So probably got, 2 steaks at a time.
That's awesome. Dominina says, I wouldn't have thought I could get a good workout in a chair, but I did.
I know. Are you in pain too? How are your thighs? Yeah. It's actually it's a whole body workout. And then we do a little lymphatic thing at the end as well and start brushing all the lymph out of our body and a little bit of a massage. It just felt so good and gives me so much, because I do it at 4:30 in the morning and it just gives me an energy boost and I'm so productive after that. Wakes me up really well.
That's awesome. LaDonna has a question for you, and I think the answer is 1 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yeah, or noonish, somewhere around there.
But do you post the videos ahead of time so that people can just go look on your up and coming on your lives?
Yeah, but Lynn's busy today. She's putting the link out, so I haven't got the link yet. So as soon as I get the link, I'll post it on my channel.
Yeah, so just keep checking back on our channel before 1 p.m. Mountain Time, and you'll see it in there. Maybe check a few hours before that, and should get it in there. All right. Does anybody have a smoker to recommend? Well, yes. So I have a Traeger and I have the Timberline XL, but they're proud of their smokers, but they are fantastic. I think they are the best pellet smoker. But that said, Traeger makes several models that are very, very, very good. Lindy has a Traeger as well, right?
I had the baby. I can't afford the beautiful XL Timberline or whatever it is. Mine's just the smallest one that you can get, and it doesn't sync with your phone and all the fancy stuff, but it's beautiful. I love it, and it's really easy to use. For someone who doesn't like cooking, I love it. And my husband hasn't burnt anything in it yet, so it's awesome. Good way to meal prep.
For sure. And I'm trying to think of the name. So they're pellet smokers, the Traegers, and they're fantastic. So those are really good. But if you don't want to spend the money on those, I think they're the Camp Chefs, and man, I'm drawing a blank on the other one. But there's several reputable pellet smoker companies out there, and I think Camp Chef and I can see the logo in my head, but I can't think of it. But there's a couple of pellet smokers out there, like all of them are getting really good. And there's some of them that are literally like a third of the price of the Traegers now. And they still do a really good job. And you can use the Traeger, the Traeger pellets and everything in them. And you can also use any pellet in the Traegers as well. Or at least the small pellets. So it depends on how much you plan on using it. And if you're not sure if you like them, maybe get an entry level model one and try it out and see if you like it. But if you really like smoked food and you think it's something you're going to get into, then I would spend the money on the Traegers, because you can get into them from anywhere from like $900 to like the Timberline ones are like $4,200. They're a little bit pricey, but they are workhorses, and they are really quality. Like they weigh a metric ton. That one in my garage, I couldn't believe it. I think that smoker weighs 500 or 600 pounds. Like It is crazy to move it around. It is so heavy, but it is just an absolute workhorse, and it does such a fantastic job. I highly recommend them. But the thing that drives me crazy about Traeger, and if you guys are listening, do you have to screw everybody on the accessories? Like you buy the Traeger, and then you go to get accessories for the Traeger, and you're like, really? I got to pay $60 for a pair of Traeger thongs if I want them, right? I got to pay like $110 for a cast iron 12 by 12 little grate that you put on the burner, like because the Timberline XLs have an induction burner, and everybody else you can get it for $40, and there's like $119. Like the butcher paper, they want $60 for butcher paper that says Traeger on it. Those people, they get you coming and going. But yeah, so their accessories are a little bit ridiculous. So Camp Chef is the other one. And so I get the Camp Chef accessories a lot of times because they're just as good, So, but yeah, the Traeger, I think the Traeger, because you get a tinfoil lining in the bottom to catch some of the ash and everything and some of the grease. And I think for a piece of tinfoil, like 3 pieces of tinfoil that fits in the bottom of there, they charge like $55. That's how crazy they are. Wow. Yeah. Makes you want to go slap somebody at Traeger. Go, you know what you're doing. Stop doing it.
It's a bit rough.
It is. So, and I know I just kind of crapped on Traeger, but their product, like their smoker, is really, really good. And I think they have some of the best smoker pellets in the game. Like the flavor, they're fantastic.
Oh, great. I'll hope to see you in the chat. Say hi when you come on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, bring your chair. My cat keeps on. I'm so sick of palliative care. I know how to get into ketosis. I did it 3 times. I need to transition to keto or carnivore because my aversion to meat now. Yeah, meat aversion.
Yeah, I'm just reading that. So, yeah, well, meat aversion's tough. When you're doing it, it takes a little bit of time, but I would lean on some dairy if you can. I don't know, there's some reasons not to do that, but if you can stomach dairy, lean on dairy to help you get your appetite back, because dairy's for a lot of people is hyper palatable and it'll get that back. And otherwise, you might do things like meat stews and omelets, things with eggs, and lean on eggs. Again, eggs are one of those things that, yep, there we go. Lean on eggs, and you can sneak some meat in the eggs or just eat the eggs if it doesn't bother you, but you just have to use one of those gateways kind of to open up the appetite. And then I know I sound like a broken record here, but I would highly recommend joining the SBG gang, the Steak and Butter gang, because they are an awesome community and they help people through the meat aversion and all that, all these troubles that you have going, starting carnivore and kind of getting through all the meat aversion and the, disaster pants and the different digestive problems you have when you swap over. That, community is 100% game changer has been for me, Michael, and Lindy for sure.
You could try some salmon. Someone else mentioned fish in the chat. I enjoy salmon, some deviled eggs, maybe with some bacon pieces on it, some crunchy bacon. Yeah, lots of little things you could try. Tuna, an egg and tuna salad.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, and that's another one is I made when I was first breaking into carnivore, I would make a bacon and egg salad that was really good. I would cut up or I'd fry bacon, then chop it up in really crispy little chunks, and I'd save the bacon grease and then make bacon mayonnaise out of the bacon grease, and then boil eggs and use the bacon mayo as the mayo for the egg salad, and then I would spike it with a little bit of pickle juice if I was wanting to, and then put the bacon in it, and that's fantastic too. And you can add cheese to it too if you're wanting to, a little bit of sharp cheddar shredded cheese, and that's really awesome too. You can also add a little bit of cream cheese to it, and that makes it pretty good too. So yeah, if that's something up your alley, give that a shot. That's a lot of people find that hyper palatable.
And how about your muffins? You've got the muffins with bacon pieces in and stuff, the egg muffins.
Oh, yeah, so I call them quiche muffins. So I'm sure everybody's had quiche, but I just take a muffin pan, I line the bottom with prosciutto because it's instead of cupcake paper, I line it with prosciutto because the prosciutto gets really crispy. And if you've never had prosciutto tastes more like bacon than I think bacon tastes like bacon. It's fantastic, really thin bacon. And so you line them with prosciutto, and then you mix eggs, and then whatever meat you want. I did eggs, sausage, and bacon, and a little bit of cheese. And then I found that I can tolerate some pickled jalapenos, so I'd put a pickled jalapeno or two in there, put them in, in the muffin tins, bake those, and then you had these little to-go muffins, and you put cheese in there too. Yep.
And didn't we talk about chaffles? I'm sorry, all these things are coming to my head.
Yeah, no worries.
We talked about that in open chat today.
Yeah, chaffles, for instance, if you took that same mixture and added a little bit of extra cheese and put it in a waffle maker, then it makes awesome chaffles. And then what's fun is if you took that same egg mixture, added extra cheese, especially dry cheeses like Parmesan, it makes a pretty awesome like waffle out of eggs and meat. And then you can take that and use it on a bun, on a hamburger patty, and use the same bacon mayo that we made earlier and use a little bit of mustard, and you got a pretty awesome chaffle hamburger. Those are fun. So something we used to do back then as well.
Yeah, lots of suggestions there.
Let's see. Yes, I do believe it was the Louisiana Grill, Cranky. The Louisiana Smoker. Yep. All right. Let's see. Am I missing anything? Here we go. I've been struggling with foot pain from what I think is oxalate dumping. I feel discouraged that I will never end. Yeah, that can happen. Feel like that. Can you talk about your experience with how you got through it? Well, it took a little while, but definitely get Sally Norton's Toxic Superfoods book. I think that explains it the best. But in the short synopsis of it was I had to drink a little bit of green tea for a while. It helps. One, it helps to identify if it is oxalate dumping. And then two, it eases the pain. It eases the oxalate dump itself. And that definitely worked for me. But then she also has some protocols, which I didn't do because the green tea was enough for me. But apparently you can grind up some like eggs and get some calcium out of them and use some citric acid as a binder, and it helps bind the oxalates and helps you pee them out, I guess. But I would definitely look up Sally K. Norton's Toxic Superfoods book, and that's the kind of the Bible on getting rid of oxalates. So yeah, but it does go away. Like I fought it without doing the green tea thing for like 2.5 months. And I mean, I passed 3 kidney stones, and then that turned into an oxalate dump from the pit of hell. Really, I was bleeding from my navel. My knee swelled up to the point that I thought I tore something. Then it went to my right foot. I had a shooting pain going down this arm. Then that went into my hip. And I wish I would have got on it sooner, because I think when that swelling went to my hip, I think that's what caused this pinched nerve in my back. And so oxalate dumping's gone, but I think it made, when my hip was inflamed and sore, I think it made muscles tense up that made me pinch a nerve. And now I'm still dealing with that. And that's a pain. So definitely take it serious and see what you can do to get it to lighten up.
I like to line the cups with bacon and then put it in the oven for 10 minutes, then crack an egg into the cup, and the bacon fat melted in the bottom of the tin keeps the eggs from sticking. Yeah, I've done that. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Sprinkle a bit of cheese on top if you want. Yeah.
That sounds delicious. Yeah. That sounds great.
Or you can try prosciutto for something a little bit different. It's a little bit saltier. The prosciutto ham.
Yeah, I'll definitely try that. That sounds delicious. I'm not trying anything for a while because I'm pretty much doing lion diet right now till my back's better, but definitely because I got a pinched nerve from heck. Oh, I didn't tell everybody, but I got a blood test. It was hilarious because I have low cholesterol. Who would have saw that coming? It was so funny. I have a pinched sciatic nerve. Because they took x-rays and they said my neck is supposed to bend they're supposed to do the neck bendy thing at like a 45, and mine's at like a 20-degree angle. So apparently I'm a little too rigid. So they got to rebend my neck. I don't know. Whatever. They got to adjust it. They need more curve in my neck, more cowbell. But then my spine in the back bends out the wrong way. It's supposed to bend in and it bends out. So they said that's a problem. Hi, Linda. And I know she's got tickets to the meetup. That's awesome. But so I got to get that back in, but it's pinching a sciatic nerve, which is real pain in the butt, not letting me sleep. So when I went to the chiropractor finally, he does hormones and whatever. And so he wanted to do a blood test, and I didn't tell him I wasn't going to take any hormones, but I thought it was part of the deal already. So I was like, I'd love to see what my blood panel is. So I went and got a blood test, and it was really funny because the nurse had a certain surprise in her voice when she called me, because I think they expected to see a whole lot of things wrong. Right. And the only thing that was off was I was low on vitamin D, of course, because it's winter and I'm inside Montana. And my B12 was a little bit low. I was very low on vitamin D. And then my C-reactive protein is really high. Well, my C-reactive protein's high because I'm full of inflammation right now because I have a pinched nerve. So C-reactive protein's just an inflammation marker or whatever, I guess. And that's got to be in my back because my back is swollen up and sore and just miserable. So I know where that's coming from. And I really don't know why I was a little low on B12 other than I don't eat organ meat, but we'll see. So I started taking some of that B12 supplement just to see, and started eating my cod livers again and taking a little bit of vitamin B3, but and K2. So we'll see how that comes around. But the funny thing is everything else, including my cholesterol, was low. Can you believe that? I'm eating somewhere between
all the meat you eat over there.
3 and 6 pounds of fatty ribeye and eating butter and tallow like it's going out of style. I just ate 24 carnivore bars this month. 24. And it's the 6th day of the month. I put down 24 carnivore bars because I'm a crackhead and they're sitting next to me and I was liking the texture and I just kept munching on those dang things. I have to buy another box of carnivore bars because I'm supposed to make some videos on carnivore bars and I ate them all before I made the dang video. So I got to do it, which I bought the box of 24 because I ate the box of 6 that they gave me before I made that video. So, anyway, and they're all fat. So it's funny that I ate all those carnivore bars full of fat. I ate all of this ribeye, and I go in, and my cholesterol's low. They're like, you need to get some more fat. That was hilarious, I thought. I was laughing. So we added back in the cod livers and the cod liver oil. So let's see.
I loved your response today to that guy that said you shouldn't be eating fat.
Oh yeah. Some well, you guys can go look at it in the comment section, but there's always an idiot. There's never an end to the morons, you know. He basically, his comment was that it makes no sense to eat fat when you have body fat to lose. And I'm like, do you think that I got to be 700 pounds and then got down to 390 pounds and then been fighting this for going on 30 years and that I've never tried to just cut out the fat? You know, like, I don't know what these people think, you know, it's like, it's crazy. So I forget. Oh, I told him, I said, I don't, because every time it's just going to go into a conversation where you're just beating your head off the wall. And this guy doesn't want to listen anyhow, because his mind's made up. So I just said, I have neither the time or crayons to explain this to you right now. But it's true. That's how I was feeling.
That's priceless.
I'm trying to be nicer in my shit talking online. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf of understanding, but they get so stupid sometimes. There you go. Amada says she's going to join your chair workout tomorrow. So grateful for it.
Excellent. Yeah, look forward to seeing you there. Great job.
That's awesome. Let's see.
Been back on track for over a week now. A little bit of a rough week, but feeling much better today. No cravings for junk, which is a praise. Thanks for the encouragement of a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
That's very good. That's awesome. Well, just keep adding on the days and just keep trying, and this will get easier and easier. and you know, one thing about slipping up on carnivore is that when you do slip up, you realize how much, one, how less satisfying the old food that's in your head really is now.
Awesome.
And two, how little it's worth it, you know, like feeling good becomes more important than tasting good, you know, and it starts to help you build kind of a resilience to, you know, being impervious to the cravings, you know, if you're diligent about it. So congratulations. And Todd, the neck thing PT had me hanging from my head over door contraption. I still need it. Yeah. So that's called a traction device. And I have one hanging from my pull-up bar now, which I too have to put my head in twice a day. Plus when I go to his office, because I signed up for three adjustments a week. Plus I have to do physical therapy twice a day. And one of the things is that traction device. And so it goes on the back of your neck, and then it's on a rope system, and the thing goes under the back of your neck, and then you pull this bar down and lock it under your chin. So it pulls down the rope and it pulls the back of the neck thing down, and this thing locks under your chin. And then they're like, and then just bend your knees and, until you feel a little pressure on your spine. Well, I weigh a lot and I'm really stiff. I don't exactly just bend. So every time I do that, before I feel any pressure on my neck, my eyeballs want to pop out of my freaking head and it's shoving my chin through my nose. Like, it is a problem. Like, I don't know how these people do it. Man, does it hurt my jaw to put that thing on, because it hits you right here. This bar goes right there. Go, I'll show it to you sometime. It's a heck of a contraption. I'm like, are we trying to straighten my neck, or are you trying to get secrets out of me of who killed Kennedy? Like, what are we doing? God, it's like torture. Anyways, I pray that it works, because I haven't slept in almost 3 months, and I would sure like to sleep again. I've forgotten what REM sleep is like. I'm feeling a little punchy lately. Okay, so C-reactive protein can tell you all of these things: detecting inflammation, monitoring chronic conditions, evaluating infections or sepsis, assessing heart disease risk, post-surgical. Okay, I really don't know. I don't know what any one of those I would have. Everything else is super healthy. So I'm going to guess that it's got to be the inflammation part, because it's got to be because my back is inflamed, because that's the only thing that's off. But thanks, Amy. Appreciate that. All right. And do we have any more? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The junk food didn't even taste good. 100%. And that's just something you really should, like right now, don't consider this a mistake, because if you take that information that you just said right there and you lock that in, and you just remember that for next time, that junk food didn't even taste good, and then compare that and contrast here in a few more days when you get another week under you of doing clean carnivore and how much better you feel. Just remember how much better you feel now, how much worse you felt then, and how that food didn't scratch the itch you're looking to scratch, and it didn't taste good anyways. And you do that enough and you're just like, yeah, I'm done playing this game. It starts to really lose its hold on you.
Before I went carnivore, I had a blood test, and the doctor said she'd never seen anyone with such high CRP levels ever. And I'm like, oh, okay. I had no idea what anything was, but now they're perfect. The markers have gone way down, and they don't even talk about it anymore. So carnivore did reduce mine. So
Great.
Yeah. So it works for inflammation.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, it's way good too. I made carnivore bars and it tasted pretty close, just to hydrate beef and tallow and salt. Yeah, I think Alyssa's trying that right now too, because they are pretty tasty. So I might have to give that a try, see how they taste. I was laughing about this. I know, that's why I paused. I was having a hard time getting it out, Mark, because I knew I was going to say JFK, but I knew it had already been released. So I was trying to think of another well-known conspiracy to make my point, and I couldn't think of one. So I just dropped that anyways. But yeah, I know the CIA did it. And we all conspiracy crap, but we all knew that the whole damn time. But we waited for it to come out, and then it finally came out. And it's like, yeah, no shit. It was exactly what we all knew it was from the beginning, because they're all a bunch of freaking liars, But I'm so happy that it came out, because maybe we could stop these 3-letter agencies from manipulating our government and having a power trip and thinking that they get to play God behind the scenes, So I don't know. Bring back the well-organized militia. Who said that? I don't know. Tim. All right. Never mind. I'm not going to say it on the show, but Michael, me and you got things to talk about after this.
Me?
Yeah.
What did I do?
No, it's not what you did. I need help.
Oh, you need help?
Yeah.
You need a lot of help.
Well, I know, but I need help that you can give me.
Oh, okay.
Not help that I need from the Almighty. Right. All right. My doctor said that she's never seen such high numbers about my cholesterol. She freaked out I fired her. That's the appropriate response to a doctor that freaks out on you is fire him.
That's right.
100%.
Especially when you're feeling so well. It's like, we need to give you tablets, but you're feeling amazing. Why would I need anything?
Right.
For sure.
It's weird.
100%. Be at Todd. I love your response. I think I told them, okay, check me off as a failure on the neck. Yeah, exactly. I know. That thing is rough. Let me tell you, it is a rough one. It gives me a headache every time I use it. I'm like, so this is helping, huh? Oh, looks like a medieval torture device for sure. I put a lot of weight on eating rubbish, pizza, soda, etc. How did you get to the stage where you like, I'm going to turn my life around? Oh, for sure. Like, I would challenge anybody, except for maybe Michael and Lindy. I would challenge anybody to see somebody that ate more pizza than I did. Like pizza and Mexican food was my everything,
Same here.
Yeah.
Not me. Ice cream was my vice and chocolate. It's a slippery shit food.
Yeah. And the thing is, one, we were all dying. I mean, we all got to the place where we were dying. We didn't have a choice.
No.
But what I'm about to make a video about this actually, but the reality of it is that we were all going into this with a calorie restricted mindset, and that's why nothing was working. What you need to do is drop the calorie restricted mindset, throw your scale away, and all that you want to do, your number one goal is not even to not eat bad foods, even though that is, but you don't want to think about it that way because that sounds like a diet. When you concentrate on what you're not going to eat, don't concentrate on what you're not going to eat. Concentrate and build everything off of what you are going to eat. And then when the cravings come and the noise comes and the anxiety comes because you're having such bad, withdrawals and cravings for the junk you're on, you eat carnivore food. You eat bacon and eggs. You eat steak. You eat omelet until you can't fit another spoonful in, and that noise will go away for a few hours. And then it'll come back, and then you do it again. Whatever your food is, you eat it. It's not going to be what you want at the time, but you eat it anyways until you're stuffed, and you eat through the craving, and that will hit the stretch receptors in your stomach, and it'll hit your satiation switch in your brain, and it'll shut down this cravings for that drug that you're on. And so I had to make a deal with myself that I could have whatever junk food that I wanted, but before I did, I had to eat until uncomfortably stuffed. I had to eat till I almost wanted to throw up carnivore food, till I couldn't put another bite in, which that shouldn't be a problem for a guy like me, right? Because I used to eat junk food till I wanted to throw up all the time, right? Wouldn't be the first time I overate too much junk food and felt nauseous, right? So this time I was doing it with carnivore food. It shuts that off. And I had to make a deal with myself that I would do that every time. And if I had to do that every time, wait 1 hour. And then if I still wanted the junk food, I could have whatever I wanted. What happened every single time was the noise shut down and I was able to fight to another meal, and I'd have to wait for another 6 hours and then repeat that. But if you can do that and just don't think about a day at a time or a week at a time, literally think about a meal at a time, you're just going to win. Get all the crap out of your house and then have a game plan and have something quick to make it. That you don't want anything elaborate. You don't want anything hard. You don't want to don't tell yourself, oh, I don't have any clean dishes or I don't have a clean pot. Buy more dishes. Cook in batches on Sunday and make 15 pounds of bacon and eggs if you have to, and make a scramble. Whatever you have to do, just have enough fatty, meaty, and eggy carnivore foods to eat whatever it takes to hit your satiation button when you're having those cravings, and have it in a second and make that deal. And you'll be surprised at how fast the days and the meals add up to days and the days add up to weeks. And then you get through it. What do you think, Lindy?
Yeah, definitely be prepared. Go and boil a bunch of eggs and have some hard-boiled eggs ready in the fridge, or some cold burger patties, which you can just grab at the last minute and eat. And if you look in the fridge and it just doesn't sound appealing and it's like you're still thinking of other things, but you can't eat that meat, then are you really hungry? You're not hungry. You're searching because you're bored or because of habit or whatever. So you need to go and distract yourself. So if the food is not appealing, but you're still craving, go and just pull some weeds out of the garden, go for a walk around the block, go and brush your teeth, try and distract yourself until that craving goes. So definitely you need to work out whether you are hungry or whether that craving is because of comfort or a bad habit. So it's just another sort of tip to try and pull through it. I know at night time I sit down on the couch with my hubby and we'll sit down and we watch an episode of something before bed. And that was always our snack time. Right. And we'd always like, oh, let's order a snack. And now I have to keep myself busy. We sit on that couch, that pattern's still there, and I have my iPad and I do like a paint by number. I keep my mind and my hands busy while, like, I'd never concentrate on the TV. I just sit there to, spend quality time with my hubby. But I have to keep myself distracted so that I don't think about food and go to that place again. And it works, just that distraction. So
100%.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm retaining fluids, like something crazy out my legs, and I don't know the cause of it.
Well,
lots of reasons. Yeah. Weather, because you're coming into your summer. I always retain fluid in the weather.
Yeah, it could be weather, but it's most likely salt, or you're moving a little bit less, or dairy, or seed oils have snuck into something, But
dairy will do it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
standing for too long or moving a lot. That's
sitting the wrong way. Or...
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. There's just, we would have to have more information, but just try changing it up. But if you are salting your food, then that's likely making you drink more water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're concerned about it, you definitely need to go and see a doctor for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Could be something else.
Yep, 100%. Well, let us know what it is. That'd be awesome. All right. Question for Todd. After the steaks are in the fridge for 3 days on a rack, do you put them elsewhere or just leave them? No, I leave them there until I eat them. I'll eat them sometimes I like them. Well, the latest I've ever eaten one was about 40 days. Sat on the rack. After about 6 to 7 days, it gets a, what do you call it? Pellicle. A thickened, I called it a pelican once and nobody ever lets that go. But I think it's called the pellicle. And it's a thick and dry layer of meat. And so after about 6 days, it gets it's not pleasant to eat anymore on the outside. So you just have to shave about 1/8 of an inch off of the pellicle on the outside. And if I'm going to shave meat off, then I want it to get really aged, like somewhere between 28 to 45 days aged, because then the flavor is fantastic. Now, I did take one to a little over 90 days the other day, but I screwed it up and it went bad on me. It went rancid. So I couldn't eat that. But yeah, you can dry age your own steak in the fridge. And so you can go, 3 days is the minimum that I would do. But anywhere from there to, there's 28 days for sure, but you're going to have to cut a little pellicle off of it. And then if you're feeling sporty and you feel good that your nose is a good judge of when meat's gone bad, then I'll take it to, 45 days. I'm going to redo it and do one in 90. What happened was I had some things make contact with it in the fridge that blocked off the air, which created rotting, which seeped down into the steak. And then once the bacteria gets into the center, you don't know where it's going to go. And the whole thing smelled funky, so I just threw it away because I didn't cut it yet. When you're dry aging that long, I should say this: when you're dry aging that long, the steaks, you want to, like, if you're dry aging 14 to 15 days, it's okay if they stay in steak form. But if you're dry aging like 28 to 45 to 90 days, you need to leave it in the primal, that whole cut, so that there's less stuff to cut off on the outside, because you don't want to have to cut off so much of your steak on the pellicle. So you leave it in one piece and dry age it. Yes, aging does absolutely create histamine. So that does not work for most people. Most people with histamine problem. Now, I have a question on the histamines. One, I'm wondering two things on histamines, and so you guys let me know in the chat. One, let's say you dry age something, but then you put it in a sous vide bag and you cooked it in a sous vide, because it would keep the air off of it and it would hold it at a temperature for a long time. Could you slow cook it and kill whatever the histamine response is? I don't know if that's even how histamines work, but I was just curious if it would. And then, but even more so, because I think the answer is going to be a resounding no on that, but I was just curious. But more so, what I was wondering is, let's say that you have a tough piece of meat. Okay. So most people get meat, most people that have histamine problems, from what I gather, I don't have them, but from what I've gathered, you take the piece of meat, you get it kind of fresh, and then you either flash freeze it before, and you don't, thaw it out to eat it, or you eat it right then fresh. What I'm wondering is, could you take, and even people say that if they freeze meat too long, like, I don't know, over a month or something, that they still get histamine response from it. What I'm wondering is if you put it in a good vacuum seal bag and you froze it. Oh, and the other thing I was going to say is that people have a hard time slow cooking things like in a crock pot and stuff for a long time, because that still has too much time, which is why I don't think you can cook off histamines. But what I'm wondering is if you had it in a vacuum seal bag and you kept the air off of it so that it couldn't culture, and you cooked it in a vacuum and you cooked it for a long time and it was a good vacuum seal bag, I feel like, I wonder if that would kill some of the histamine response on the meat. And I would sure like to find that out, because I think that's got me curious. So let me know in the chat what you guys think. All right.
Once histamine's formed, it's heat resistance. So it can't be eliminated by cooking.
I gotcha. Well, that's crazy how histamines can form in a frozen environment then, It's kind of strange. Oh yes, Todd, I seem to have a daily pattern of eating so much for dinner that I would lay on the couch for 20 minutes, swearing I never eat that much again. Right. And that's because you, and here, I mean, look, that's because you don't have leptin sensitivity. That's 100% what that's from. So we have two basically satiety switches in our body. One of them's leptin, which is a hormone. But when you're insulin resistant, you don't have leptin sensitivity, which means you can't get the hormonal signal from leptin to stop eating. So the other switch is our stretch receptors on our stomach, which are there to keep us from eating until we pop, literally, and like have our stomach split. And so that's why everybody that has to eat until they feel full instead of feeling satiated. Like, this is one of the things that blew my mind on carnivore, was I didn't know there's a difference between feeling satiated and feeling full. I thought those meant the same thing. They do not mean the same thing. You can be completely satisfied and satiated without feeling stuffed and sick, And I didn't know there was such a thing until I was carnivore after 39 years of living, that you could get your leptin sensitivity back and that you could feel satiated. So that is, so that's kind of the reason that you keep eating until you're feeling stuffed, But use that, now that you know that that's how that works, and you know that when you're stuffed, you don't crave junk food anymore when you get to that point. So use that off switch there temporarily to put in carnivore food. Use that appetite and that ferocious hunger for the crap to put in nutritious food that's going to heal your body's hormones and signaling. So
there's so many people that complain they can't eat enough on carnivores, so because it's so satiating. So let's do it. Yeah,
100%.
For those of us that need to lose weight, we need to do it. Yeah,
100%.
My cholesterol went up to 201 from 181. Triglycerides down from 170 to 121. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I don't do numbers, but I suppose that's good.
Yeah.
I don't care. But as long as you feel good. Yeah.
That's all that matters. That's right.
100%. I'm going to see a vascular specialist to see if something to do.
We did this one when she was talking about it before with her leg circulation.
I got you.
Right, let's do this right now.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
Lindy's gonna shoot you. Yeah. We appreciate everybody that helped out with Lindy's GoFundMe. She's just trying to do the last 10%, but anybody that can help us spread the word, put that out there. We sure appreciate it. If you guys don't know that Lindy had, we ran this GoFundMe because Lindy had lost over 500 pounds and had a massive amount of loose skin. And so we did a GoFundMe because Australia, just like the United States, doesn't believe that skin reduction surgery is a medically necessary surgery. They said that it's, what's the word?
Cosmetic.
Elective. Elective cosmetic surgery.
Cosmetic. Yeah.
And you know what's so crazy about that, guys? We can't thank you guys that all donated enough because Lindy went and had that surgery and they said it wasn't medically necessary. It was cosmetic. And Lindy goes in to have it. And when she wakes up, what'd your doctor tell you?
Yeah, he told me I was very lucky because I had a hernia. My colon was being strangulated, and it was only a matter of 2 or 3 days. I would have been raced to hospital with a perforated colon. I could have, if I had survived that perforation, I would have lost my colon and had a colostomy bag right now.
Unreal.
So knowing me, if it had a perforated, I would probably be in pain, I would assume. I wouldn't go to the doctors because I just don't do doctors. So I probably wouldn't be sitting here today. So I had no idea I had a hernia. When you've got all that loose skin, you just don't know what's going on inside of you. You don't feel the bumps or whatever because I had 20 pounds of skin removed just in my abdomen. So obviously that was masking all of that. So it was very confronting to hear. I still, I was going to cancel the surgery. I had planned, was on the waiting list for a long time and then lost my job. And I kept the appointment right up until the last minute in the hope that I would find work and be able to pay it off. And it just didn't happen. And I was on the verge of cancelling my surgery when the boys set this up for me. And I owe them my life, to be honest, and to the community for supporting all of this. You all pretty much saved my life, and the girls still have their mum. I get a bit emotional talking about it. But thank you to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. This GoFundMe actually saved Lindy's life and at least her colon, which is, that's why it makes me so mad that the doctors. So all the drugs and stuff and the bariatric surgery, they'll pay for all that to help you stay sick and put you on a, when they take out your stomach, you got to take supplements for the rest of your life. When you're on Ozempic and all that crap, you're on it for the rest of your life. And, on these stupid GLP ones, and they'll pay for that, they'll pay for all that. But boy, if you do something on your own and get off medication and actually get healed and get healthy to where it's not sick care anymore and it's actually just saving your life, then they say that it's not medically necessary. And then she goes in and finds out that it was literally a life-saving surgery. So absolutely ridiculous.
And saved the insurance so much more money because of all the problems that she could have had from it.
Yeah, it's absolutely maddening. So we can't thank you guys enough. So, but yeah, we'd love it if you guys could spread the word, and we appreciate everybody. And I'm sure that most people here have already donated, and we thank you so much. But we appreciate if you could spread the word out there. We just got 10% more to get it completely paid for, and we appreciate everything you guys done. So thank you so much. Oh, yep, I think I ate that one right. Yep. All right, go to this one. Todd, can you comment on the benefits of amino acid supplements? I'm lying and wondering if amino acid supplements would help. Raymond Nazon says it's a game changer. Yeah, so it was a game changer for me, and I think it can help a lot of people. It's like the chicken or the egg thing, right? It's kind of funny because yes, you get plenty of amino acids and branched chain amino acids one, you're eating meat and you're carnivore. But this is a metabolic process and breaking that down to where you can break these proteins and fats down to amino acids. And that's a metabolically expensive process that if you don't have good gut digestion and good health, it's a hard process to your body's not very efficient at it at first when you're starting a carnivore. So when you take the essential amino acids, right? So there's essential amino acids and there's branch amino acids. And if you take the essential amino acids, it helps, and even the branch chain amino acids, it helps your body heal up because they're way easier to absorb quicker. So it helps your body heal up so that you can be more efficient at making this out of food. So it's kind of a bridge. It's kind of priming the pump with the amino acids. And so, yes, when you're running healthy on a carnivore diet, you won't need them. But as a bridge to get there until you're healthy, they helped me a ton. So, and I use the the optimal aminos. These ones here, they're about half price as the perfect aminos, and so they're a good one. Yeah, give them a shot.
I started taking them too, and I didn't really feel any different on them. But I did notice I was going to the toilet a lot more. I tend to retain a lot of fluid through the day, and then I pee like 3 or 4 times through the night. And when I was on the aminos, I was peeing throughout the day, and I happened to mention it to Raymond and Todd, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's been happening to us too." So I didn't realize it was actually doing something, and now I'm fine. I now pee throughout the day, and I'm sleeping through the night without having to get up at night. So I think it just helped me get over that hurdle with the fluid and fixing things that were obviously a little bit wrong there. So I don't think you need to take them forever. Like, I'm not taking them at the moment. I still have some here on my desk, and every now and then I'll just pop a couple just in case it is doing something, but I don't make it a priority to take them anymore because I'm feeling so good.
100%. Call me cranky, but I dry aged an almost 3-pound ribeye with kosher salt for 30 days, and it was great, seared only with nothing cut off. I'm sure that it was good, and I don't mind them past the 6-day mark. I don't mind them even past the 14-day mark sometimes, but I can see how it won't be most people's cut of tea. Also, when I'm air drying them, I think that makes a difference because I don't put salt on mine. I just put them in the fridge because I don't do the salt. So I wonder if that makes a difference too. But also, cranky, you just might be way more carnivore than me because you might just have a taste for the thick bark. So that sounds awesome to me. They get a little bit, some of the hard pieces. Once you sear it, you could almost cut your lip with it. You could make a rawhide chew toy for the dog out of it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Follow-up question: how did you not give up into temptation? I always say I will start tomorrow. Then I think, let me have one last soda first, etc. Okay, Robert, I don't know if you're in the steak and butter gang, but if you're starting and this is where your mind's at, these are all great questions, but you need to be in a community. First of all, I started carnivore and I white knuckled it for the first 9 months because I thought communities were stupid. And then I got in a community and then I realized I was being stupid for not being in a community, because what it is, there are a lot of communities are stupid. A lot of communities are enabling nonsense communities. There's, fat positivity communities and nonsense out there. But the thing about carnivore communities, or good carnivore communities, is that it's just a group of people that were all where we were that needed to save our lives, and the medical intervention was not doing the trick. And we had questions just like you have, where we have all the best of intentions, but we could not get over the hump, right, to get free. And the thing about that is it's everybody that has found tips and tricks and motivation and really a way of thinking about it to change your mind and changing your ideology, and also, about how you think of food. Like, first of all, one of the reasons that we all are failing, and one of the reasons that you're having these questions right now, is because right now, the way that you look at this, I don't even have to know you, and I know that this is the way that you're looking at this. You're looking at carnivores going, that's so restrictive. How could you guys ever fight all these temptations and all these cravings and all this noise in your head and this pull? Because I can't seem to resist it a couple of times, right? And also, you know, that noise. I have so many stories I could tell you that relate to this comment. This comment is just, you just are speaking what so many of us have gone through and feel just in this comment. But number one, you have to understand that carnivore is not a diet. It actually frees you and heals you so that you're not going to always have these cravings. Carnivore wouldn't work for us any better than a calorie restrictive sad diet worked for us if the cravings didn't go away, if the noise didn't calm down. So what you need to understand is that you are fighting to heal. This is not a diet. This is not a fight to not make a mistake today, right? And that's what we all hate about diets. That's why everybody's question is, how long did it take? You know, how long do I have to do this to lose 200 pounds? How long do I have to do this to lose 100 pounds? How long do I have to do this to lose 300 pounds? That's not the question. The real question is, how long do I have to do this before food no longer has a hold on me? And it's inconsequential how long I do this, because it has no bearing on my, like, it's not fighting, like I'm not addicted to food anymore, and it's not fighting me. It's not tempting me. The noise isn't there anymore. And that's the real question. And for me, that was 5.5 weeks. Lindy, how long was it for you?
Yeah, probably 6 to 8 weeks before
Yeah,
I started to get that
about the same for
off
me.
switch.
Yeah. So let's say 8 weeks. If you do this right and you have the right and you have the right focus, you can get to 8 weeks. And then it starts to get a lot easier. But
But it's still hard when you've got a family who doesn't eat carnivore and they're ordering pizzas and Chinese food, and here I am with my steak, and I'm like, why are they eating that and I'm doing this? And that's because I have to eat like this, because I can't moderate the other food.
Yep.
So yeah, you've got to, what's your reason for doing carnivore? Is it just to lose a bit of weight? Is it to fix some medical issues? You need to figure out why you're doing carnivore as well.
And I'm sure the three of us have said, I'll start tomorrow many times in our thing. That was our thing. And we got to a point where if we didn't make a change, we wouldn't have it tomorrow.
For sure.
So.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. And so that was true. And then one of the really interesting parts to this, on just what you said there, because I always feel like I just need one more soda. That's because you have to make a decision and you need a community to help keep you accountable. You literally need a place to go. And when you say, I'm about to give in to this, somebody talked me off the lead, somebody slapped the soda out of my hand, you know, quite literally, you need that sometimes. But what's so crazy is the reason why you're having problems with that is the same reason I was having problems with that. It's because, look, the parasites in your stomach that live off of soda and sugar will live off sugar, but they live off sugar. They die if they don't have sugar. And
Right.
Those little bastards are so mean and so vicious and so controlling to us. And they have such a hold on us that when you're going through this, those little son of a guns, when you're like detoxing through the keto flu, they'll make you dream about sugar. They'll make you obsess about sugar. They will beat you up, and they know the chemicals to secrete to make your brain want the sugar so bad that it's making, it's raising your cortisol. You're having panic attacks, all this stuff. And it's because they want to live, right? And so, these things actually have a little bit of control over your brain, right? It's crazy. And so you can't actually even trust yourself sometimes. That's what's crazy about it. You can't even trust your own judgment sometimes. And that's what's so funny that I was going to bring up here, because we've all done that to ourselves so many times that we're basically lying to ourselves and we're talking ourselves out of it. Because, what's an average, whatever, I'm going to start my diet on Monday, and then Sunday night comes and you're like, let's say you decide on a Thursday, you're going to start a diet, and you're like, I'm going to start a diet on Monday. So I'm going to eat everything before Monday. Just, get it out of my system because we love that excuse. We're going to get it out of our system. So we're going to go on a binge because, thing that makes the most sense to do when trying to lose weight is eat 40,000 calories before Monday.
Before,
yeah, of sugar so that we can go ahead and have extra weight to lose, when we get there. But, we justify by saying we're going to get all of this out of our system. And then Sunday night comes and tomorrow morning is the, pay the piper day. And we go, well, you know what? I got to thinking it's little Timmy's birthday on Friday. So maybe I should do it the following Monday.
Mm-hmm. It's got to
And
have
then
a piece of cake.
Yeah, and so that I can be at that, because it would be, it'd be rude to not eat Timmy's birthday cake with little Timmy. So we're going to go ahead and push that off till, next Monday. And then, because there's still a couple things that I should probably, satisfy myself with because, I didn't try them. So
because I'm going to do it this time.
Then you eat 10,000 calories for the next 7 days. And then you get there Sunday night again. You're like, well, tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo, and all this
I want to have my margarita.
Right, and so you can sit here and you just do that, and you walk yourself down the road. Before you know it, the thought of having a diet and starting a diet, you ended up eating 4,000 calories of sugar a day for the next 30 days and put on an extra 40 pounds. And now you're like, it's worthless. This is never going to work. And then, it's just that cycle of ridiculousness. And we've all done that and talked ourselves into that so much that a strange thing happened when I was doing carnivore. Exactly 10 months and 26 days into carnivore, I was chewing 2 cans of Copenhagen long cut. Actually, no, it was about 10 months and 19 days into carnivore, 19 or 20 days into carnivore. My brain told me, because I was chewing 2 cans of Copenhagen long cut every day. I had such a nicotine habit that I was putting a chew in before I go to bed, because if I didn't have a chew in my lip when I was sleeping, I wouldn't sleep. I'd crave it in my sleep. And all of a sudden, I never thought I was going to quit Copenhagen or nicotine. But carnivore heals you so much that it starts balancing your hormones, and then you don't need these things. And so I'd quit all these stimulants, and all of a sudden I started losing my taste for Copenhagen and nicotine, which was crazy. And I started realizing that was happening. And I had 3 cans of Copenhagen left, and the Copenhagen ran out on October 18th. And I remember I sat there and I thought, man, because I had a ton of work to do that month. I had the end of the month billing at that time, and I had a bid that was going out, and I had a bunch of stuff. And I thought, man, I don't want to sacrifice my success on this thing. I feel like I should go get another 4 cans of Copenhagen and get through the end of the month billing and then quit at the end of the month so that I can really quit. And something about that felt different, but then I said, okay, I'm just going to do that. But then as I was working, I had this overwhelming feel of guilt, and something was just nagging on me to the point that I had to sit back in this very chair and go, why is this bothering me so much? I know this makes sense, because I have a theory. I've never tried to quit Copenhagen before, and I didn't want to fail the first time that I tried, because I don't like having to come back, because then I'm 0-1, right? I'm fighting an undefeated opponent that's already beat me up, and it plays a mental game in my head. So I'd much rather when I'm trying to quit something new or trying to achieve something new, I want to give myself the best chance of not taking an L, because I don't want that in my head, because then it makes the opponent bigger to me somehow. It's just a mental thing. So that was the reasoning that I went into it, which was not the reasoning that I ever went into eating another week's worth of bad food and not starting a diet, but it is how I went into this. But it was tearing me up and mentally, and I couldn't figure out why. And I had to sit back and really think about it for a while. And the reason why was because I hadn't rectified the problem that for a long time, for 26 years of my life that I tried dieting, I had been somebody that I could not trust or count on. I could not trust my own judgment or opinion anymore. I couldn't trust my own word. I'd lied to myself so many times that I didn't know how to trust my own judgment anymore. But that's because I was an addict. This time, I wasn't an addict. In fact, the last vice I had was this very Copenhagen that I was quitting. And I could finally trust my own judgment again. I could finally trust my own nature again, because I had gotten free from all this stuff. And so I bought the 4 cans And I just gave myself, because once I recognized that, I bought the 4 cans. I said, okay, I'm going to let this go. I'm not going to beat myself up. And sure enough, those were the last 4 cans I ever chewed. And that was in October 26th of 2023. And that was after chewing Copenhagen 2 cans a day for almost 26 years. So,
and then you found cans a couple weeks after that. Yeah.
I did. I found them in my car. And when I saw them, I went, oh my gosh, this is going to be terrible. I'm going to go on a bender. And I saw them, and then there was nothing. I was like, oh, no, it's not. And I just picked them up and I threw them away. And I was like, oh, that was nothing. And I have not had another chew or even thought about a chew in 20. Well, that's not true. I thought about chew one time, and that was when I was at a rodeo. Because that was like everybody chews at a rodeo, and that was imprinted in my head, but that was it. So crazy thing. So you can definitely get there. I know that was long and drawn out, but this question spawned so many. Like, I related that question. I'm sure you guys all did too. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Tim.
Just don't tap it with a frozen steak. Thank you.
Please explain how to get leptin sensitivity back.
Long story short, it's by eating carnivore and fasting, but you cannot fast until you've primed, which is why we ask everybody to join at SBG. I do not get paid to tell anybody this. I donate my time over at SBG. I do several calls a week over there. SBG is not just some sort of chat group or some online forum. SBG is multiple Zoom meetings every week where you get to ask real carnivores, including myself, including Lindy, real questions, and I donate my time there. We don't charge them anything to be there, and we don't, it is a paid site. It's $30 a month, but I get nothing for telling you this. The only reason why I donate my time there, the only reason why I tell you this is because it made such a huge difference, because it explains all these questions for you, and it's $1 a day or less, and it's worth every penny of it, because, it's less than what you would spend on a soda a day when you're eating bad. But it makes all the difference because you have a community and you can ask the questions almost every day of the week. There's like 2 days of the week that are a little bit hard to, really only 1 day of the week it's hard to get a hold of anybody. But even then, they have a chat board that people answer questions on. So do we have the link for SBG, by the way? So that
yeah, I'll put it in there.
Yeah. So he's going to put the SBG link, but join SBG. But the long, or the short answer to the long question here is, you do carnivore, you do fasting to lower your insulin resistance, and that brings back your leptin sensitivity, and you eat high fat. High fat also is huge for leptin sensitivity, but there's a lot to it other than that. All right. B-Dog, I like your video from today, Todd. Steak. That's awesome. I appreciate it. It was really rough. I'm going to do better in the future, but
it was awesome. You're too hard on yourself. It was a fantastic video. Very well done.
It was rough. So I don't know. I got to get a better camera holder, because my phone's got my best camera now for videotaping those, now that I got the new one that you suggested, Michael.
Yep.
But the problem is the back camera is the best one, not the front camera, right?
Right.
Back camera takes the best video. While the holder that I have holds my camera like this. So when I put it in there, I can't see the screen to get it lined up on the cutting board, right? Because the camera mount blocks it.
It's too high, right? Okay.
Yeah, well, even when I'm looking down, holding it on the camera mount, it's blocking most of the screen, so I can't see it. So my question to you is,
plug in a HDMI cable into it and get a little display.
Okay, perfect. I was just going to say, can I screencast it to a tablet and then use the tablet so I can look while I'm aiming?
Sure. Yeah, you can do that.
That would be one. And then maybe you could tell me this, Michael. This son of a gun, the Air Stylus, my old phone Air Stylus would let me start and stop the recording. This one will not.
They killed it on this version. Everybody's pissed about it.
Well, they need to go.
There's a petition that you can go sign.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go sign it. They need to bring that back, because how am I supposed to start and stop videos when the camera holder's covering the button? So I have to reset and reposition my camera when the only thing that I used out of that stylist at all
Was the little clicky button? I know.
was the clicky button, and they took the damn thing away. What kind of ruthless buttheads did that?
They're trying to sabotage you, Todd.
So anyhow, this is why I had such anxiety making that video. God, it was making me so mad. Nothing was working. So
They're in cahoots with Traeger to upset you, Todd.
Those people. I was wanting to shoot them. And I'm like, really? You make this awesome camera and we can't operate it remotely, you big jerks? Why did they do that? What a bunch of jerks.
Saving a few pennies.
Oh, somebody shoot them.
People are mad about it.
Oh, I'm so hacked. I sat here. I thought, surely they did not take the only function off of the stylus that I use on this phone ever.
I used it too, huh? These are pictures, huh?
Oh,
It'll be back on the next model, and
Yeah.
we double the price.
No.
I would have paid double the price just to have it. That's how much I used that. Oh, what a bunch of jerks.
I'm sure you can set it up with voice.
Okay, well then I'll figure that out. I think I'm full but hungry soon after like 1 to 2 hours. That usually means you're under eating or you're under eating fat particularly.
What are you eating? I find I'm that way when I eat chicken or fish. It doesn't satisfy me, so I tend to be hungry within an hour or two after. Whereas red meat, I will be less hungry. Yeah, I can go a lot longer without.
And that's because those are much lower in fat. Those cuts too. I don't like to cook from frozen, but how do you feel about directly eating from frozen? Yeah, meat sickle. No, I don't like that either. No. If a person has a lot of weight to lose, what is the worry about under eating? Won't the body just draw on excess? No. And look, like seriously, this has been the ridiculously touted nonsense for the last, 75 to 100 years. Calorie restricting, eat less, burn more, the calorie in, calorie out, thermodynamic hypothesis, all this bull crap. And if it was working, 74% of America would not be overweight. This is not the answer. This has not helped anybody. It's making the world exponentially worse. Now, yes, it's true that if you undereat and you starve yourself, you're going to lose weight. But you know what you're going to lose? You're going to lose about 1/3 lean body mass, and which means muscle and bone density and white, like myelination of the nerves and all sorts of stuff. And you're going to lose about 1/3 fluid, and you're going to lose about 1/3 to 1/4 fluid, and the rest is going to be fat. And then as soon as you stop starving yourself, because what happens then is you beat the crap out of your metabolism and you cause metabolic disease. Then when you finally have to eat again, because you will have to eat, it stores 100% of it, and it slows down your metabolism. It stores like 100% of it almost as fat again, and you gain it back so fast. That's why we all go on the weight roller coaster, is because we never get through that. What you want to do is you want to eat, and also you have to remember that most of us got to this situation by overeating nutriently deficient, hyperpalatable, empty calories from carbohydrates. So it means that your body's screaming for proteins, it's screaming for amino acids, it's screaming for fats, and you keep shoving carbohydrates in there, and it goes, great, we have to store this as fat really quick because we're going to block off leptin sensitivity, and we're going to store this all as fat, and then we're going to be hungry really quick because your blood sugar crashed, and we still need protein, collagen, amino acids, all that stuff, because we're not getting the building blocks and the nutrients that we were calling for in the first place. Because we don't just eat for fuel, we don't just eat for calories, we eat for nutrients. And when we're not getting them, we still have that call light on telling us to eat for nutrients, get the nutrients in, because when we're starving ourselves, we're eating protein, we're eating bone, we're eating all this stuff. So if you continue to do that, you just tank your metabolism, because your metabolism says, hey, we're losing a bunch of lean body mass because we're under eating severely. So let's go ahead and slow down our intake of this and and we're going to limit this, we're going to slow down the fire basically. We're going to limit this to emergency systems only, and we're going to save this stuff for organ function and brain function. And all of a sudden you start getting some neuropathy. It stops trying to save your, myelination of the nerves and stuff. It's an absolute nightmare. And it's one that we fell into. And the reason why we all fell into it, and the reason why it's preached today, is because if you can preach the bullshit about calories and needing to be in a calorie deficit, then these types of calories all of a sudden don't become the focus, right? If you look at nutrients and eating enough nutrients to get healthy and heal your metabolism, and that being the way to losing weight and getting rid of the fat, well, that would be bad, because then we would go look at Coca-Cola and all the big food companies that have been putting drugs and crap in our food that is completely nutriently deficient but high in calories. And we would say, oh, you guys are doing this. We have to stop eating your guys' product. This is the problem. But the message that they preach is, we're the problem because you can't regulate this highly addictive drug that we've spent millions of dollars to design to be addictive so that you'll overeat it, that's completely void of nutrition. But if it's your problem for not being able to moderate it correctly and eating a calorie deficit to starve yourself enough that you would stay physically lighter, and they try to equate that to health. That's also perpetrating another bullshit lie, that is that fat is correlated, the cause of poor health. It is not. In fact, I really truly believe that fat people are kind of lucky, because if you eat, like, if I didn't get fat with the poor diet that made me get 700 pounds, if I hadn't gotten to 700 pounds, I would have had probably a terrible autoimmune disease and died. Because if you look at it, there's fat people, and fat people have plenty of health problems because it causes circulation problems, it causes heart problems from the physical size and pressure. But skinny people end up with autoimmune problems. Skinny people end up with nervous system problems. Skinny people end up with bone problems and cancer. I mean, it's not that fat people can't get some of those, but on a fat really saves people. And that's why our body is not looking to get rid of the fat, because when we're eating all this crap and then we decide to go starve ourselves, it has no choice but to eat away at the fat and bone and protein, because it's a metabolically expensive process to take protein and turn it into glucose through gluconeogenesis. It's a very metabolically expensive process, so it will start burning fat. But also people get sick from that too, and your body doesn't want to do it because it's storing a whole lot of oxalates and toxins in the fat that you gained when you're eating so bad. And so the carnivore way of doing this is you get nourished, and you heal your body, and you heal your metabolism and your mitochondria and your immune system until you're on really good footing to deal with all the poison that's stored in your fat, and to detox, to get through it. And that's where oxalate dumping and stuff comes in too. And people get hurt from that. So, I love the question, but I hate that, what you have to realize is that you've bought into a bunch of, propaganda. The big food and big pharma has been pushing for 75 to 100 years, and all you have to do is back up and go, is it working? They've had the football this whole time preaching the same stupid message, and everybody's getting fatter and sicker. It's not working. So we got to take our mind out of that. Want to add anything, Lindy?
Yeah, I don't eat a lot because I still have the lap band restriction, and it just tanks my metabolism. My hair starts falling out because I'm not getting the nourishment. So I actually have to force myself to eat almost like it's my job, and do like the gentle priming every week. I need to do a couple of days of priming so I don't get into trouble. But yeah, I'm always stalling because I can't get enough food in. But yeah, my metabolism's constantly tanked. Now that I've lost a lot of weight, because it's a lot of excess, as I get closer to my goal, it's becoming harder and harder because I keep crashing my metabolism.
For sure. All right. Look for progress, not perfection. 100%, Tim. Very well said. It took about 2 months to turn off the food noise and not want snacks, carnivore snacks, but now neither between my 1 or 2 meals. That's awesome. 100%. The noise goes away, doesn't it, Lindy?
Yeah, it does.
It's freeing.
Yes.
I agree. Let's see. I gained 4 inches since last July because of undereating, along with stress. Priming has stopped the undesirable gains. 100%, John. It absolutely works.
And it is scary thinking you have to eat all this food and you're going to lose weight. I mean, some people do put on, but once you've nourished your body and you get to that point, then it just starts to drop off. You know, it's when you do the bit of fasting, or if you just go back in the wild where you just stop, you eat when you're hungry and stop when you're not. You know, you just, everything kind of balances out, but you've got to be at that nourished point to get to that where your body feels safe enough to let the weight go.
For sure. This one's for Michael and Limitless Lindy. Oh, and Todd. All right. Grateful for the Sunday Live. Was an SBG for February, March, and love the open chats. I quit this month to save a little money. So this is a nice community fix. Thank you. That's awesome, Amada. Appreciate it so much.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I think it was really Todd and Alyssa, even more than the community, that I loved. It was confidence and repeating of things I needed to hear. Open chat itself is worth the cost of SBG. Yeah.
That's awesome, Amada. I sure appreciate it so much. And yeah, we'll hope to see you soon.
So open chat is a 2-hour call. We hold it 5 days a week, where you just come in, a Zoom call like this. We see, you know, everyone's faces. If you don't want the camera on, you don't have to have it on. And you just ask questions and talk all things carnivore. You know, if you've got issues, you're struggling, there's always people in there that can offer advice and tell you how they've overcome different things. It's just fantastic to be able to talk to someone in real time and get answers.
For
So
sure.
definitely worth it.
100%. Very well said. And if you guys do join, come and say hi to us in open chat. For sure. We want to know that you came from here. So carnivore gives you superpowers. I was able to give up chewing and lifelong alcohol consumption. Carb sugar addiction went away as well. When you're satiated, you can do without all the garbage. That's 100% sure. True, Ron.
Awesome.
That's what I found. Congratulations. Yeah, that's another thing I'd like to see people join SBG for, because I do a call on Saturdays there called Iron Sharpens Iron, and the goal is to kind of check up on particularly men's mental health, because I find that men's mental health is getting so much better on carnivore, and I think that it's directly related to addictive tendencies and self-medicating with this crap too. And so I love to see that, because I think they all run hand in hand. So I want to get a group of men together in there so that we can kind of keep track and compare notes, and especially the longer people do carnivore, to see if things like PTSD, depression, anxiety, if any of these things are getting better, ADHD, and then any of as well as all the addictions, if that stuff is getting better outside of just diet, because I wouldn't have ever guessed that things outside of diet you could be freed from food, and it's absolutely what we see happening a lot. So yeah, so that's awesome. So yeah, if you guys are having that, we'd love to see an SBG as well. Hello from Nuke, Greenland. 150 plus days carnivore. Wow, that's awesome, BK.
Cool.
Congratulations. All right. Yeah, the doctors you have been ranting about got together and has Samsung removed the button. I'm sure they did. They don't want me making videos, Tim. That's funny. 100% sure they did. Dirty dogs. I also enjoyed your video, Todd. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I think Todd's the only one that didn't enjoy it.
I didn't enjoy it. Here's the realization that Todd had. When Todd was making that video, I was saying, I owe all my viewers an apology because they got to listen to me because I had to go through and edit it and listen to myself. See, the beauty about live streams is I don't have to look at this video again. I just get to sit here and talk, not hear me, Michael and poor Lindy got to listen to this all day. And then I walk away, YouTube posts it as a video, and no harm, no foul. I never have to see it again. But when you make a pre-recorded video, I had to listen to that thing for 4 hours while I put crap together for it. And I was like, how do people put up with this?
Just remember consistency over perfection. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get your video out there. Everyone loves it. You're too hard on yourself.
Lindy, you know me. You know me too well. How you know how back crap crazy my head is when it comes to the things, the ADHD brain focus things. Yeah, it's
and you let go of Copenhagen, you'll get there. Just keep plugging along. Consistency over perfection. It's another addiction you need to break. You'll get there. Trust the process, Todd.
If you say so. That's one loud voice when it comes to that voice. Man, that thing's loud. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Today's video far surpassed the cooking video I've enjoyed watching the past that you have done. Thank you. I tried to do better. Go back and check out the difference 100%. Thanks for making them very helpful. Thank you so much, Mary. I really appreciate that. Yeah, and that was one. The last cooking video I made was the reason why I didn't make this cooking video. And see, so I only made the one cooking video that I recorded and edited, which was the one where I made the chicken finger, well, the pork fake chicken fingers. And that one, and I realized that I'm not making, and then I knew that one was bad. I'm like, I got to do way better than that. That was crap. But see, the other cooking videos I did were lives, and I did that so that I wouldn't have to edit it, so I wouldn't have to see how bad they were. So that's why I could go through those. And so I did try better, but there's just so many things that popped out that drove me nuts, which will make them better in the future. I will fix them. But yeah, it is really hard to watch all your mistakes for 4 hours while you're editing it. And yeah, I can't tell you how many times I was dragging the file to dump it in the trash can and go start over. Like I kept editing going, I can't make this look good. I'm just going to throw it away and start over. I did that for hours. And then I was like, I got to start somewhere. But yeah, it was pretty funny. I ate frozen meat and liver. Frozen brisket shredded up is such a delicious snack, especially while driving. You eat frozen brisket shredded up? Wow. I didn't know how bad off you were, Alyssa. Oh man, I thought you were getting better on carnivore. That is quite the palate. And Todd, I agree with everyone. Watch your video today. It was great as I gained so much information from it. Oh, that's awesome, Abby. Well, I appreciate it so much. All right. Well, maybe I'm just mental. That's a good possibility. In fact, I would say that Michael would bet on it. Lindy, can you have your lap band reversed?
I probably could. I need to go and get it checked out, but I am frightened to do that at the same time. I'm just scared that they're going to make a mistake and do something, because it's been in there 27 years. So I'm scared of the scar tissue. And then recently I heard somebody had theirs out and just struggled with eating again. So yeah, it's kind of like better the devil you know. I'm comfortable with it. I can manage it now. Do I want to try and open up another can of worms? Make things a lot worse than what they are now. So it's something it's on my mind constantly at the moment. So we'll see what happens.
That's awesome. I was just pulling something. All right. Thanks for putting yourself out there, being thankful. Much love. Yeah, no worries. I appreciate it so much. What do you?
Thank you, Kate. Yeah. What's the best way to store jerky to make it last? Making it New York strip jerky, and I threw in a couple of strips of bacon. I'll try that too. Should I vacuum seal it, or how long in the fridge?
I vacuum. Like if I'm not going to eat it within 48 hours, I vacuum seal it when I make jerky. I just think it's the best way, and I bulk batch it anyways, and so I just like to put it in the freezer. I'll put, like, if I make 20 pounds, I'll put 15 of it in the freezer, and I'll put 4 pounds of it in the refrigerator, and then I'll eat a pound of it that day. But that's generally what I do. But yeah, vacuum sealing it, I think, is the best. What do you guys think?
I only make enough to, for 2 or 3 days at the max.
That's what I do. I don't cook in batches like you, Todd. Make 20 pounds at a time.
Yeah, how would it be in the freezer? Like, then would you have to put it back in the dehydrated to dehydrate it again? Like, how would you do that?
No, once it's dehydrated,
It's just frozen, right?
Yeah, it's just frozen.
Yeah, I'd rather just do it fresh. It's simple. I'm one of the lazy chefs.
For sure. No worries. I was trying to figure out. Question: do you add extra fat to each meal, like butter, or do you just eat fatty meat? I do on occasion add butter or tallow, but it's less frequent than I first needed it. But especially now that I'm back on eating a can of cod livers every day and drinking all the cod liver oil that's in it, because I get a fair amount in the morning. But if I have a taste lately, I'll have a little bit of butter. I was doing tallow for a long time when I was having an issue with butter, but it seems like that issue is healed up because I'm not having a problem with it lately.
Yeah, I'm the same. Most times I just have my fatty steak, and sometimes there's not a lot of fat and I feel like it, so I'll add some butter. Or I'm into ghee at the moment. There's something different. Having a lot of ghee if I do have it extra.
If I'm going to have extra, I throw tallow in with my scrambled eggs in the
morning. Steak and butter gang has been a godsend for me. Absolutely, John. Me too. And I know everybody here. Thanks so much, John. Question, Todd, where can I find the iodine? Okay, so where can I find the ratios for iodine? So Tim actually sent me this fantastic chart, and it's in a JPEG. How do I get it? Well, I guess I could just share screen. Yeah. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share a screen.
Drop it into WhatsApp, and I'll put it up for you.
Can I drop a JPEG into WhatsApp?
Sure, it's a picture.
Yeah, it's a picture. Sorry, Michael, it's a bit of a cockatoo or parrot here.
Let me see what this does. I'm curious if this will work. What does this do?
What are you doing?
I just put it in the chat. Is that clickable?
YouTube.
No.
Was it a YouTube link?
No, it's a YouTube link. What is it?
Oh, I don't know. Must not have been the right thing.
It might be his video.
It's your steak video.
Oh, it must have been from earlier. Oh, because I sent it to Max earlier. All right. So I was trying to copy and paste it because it said I could copy it in the. All right. So
YouTube don't do that now. Just drop it into WhatsApp.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to get it to WhatsApp because I don't know. Oh, I probably got to save it, I suppose. Okay, save as. There we go. All right. All right. Save. Copy. It's taking way too long. I'm so bad at this. Hold on, I'm gonna put it on the Three Amigos, and then
Tim, next time just send it to me.
No, no kidding. Sorry, guys, I'm coming. Paste. Oh, crap on you.
These gremlins are back, are they?
All right, you guys read the next one while I'm finding this, please.
I think we got a super chat here somewhere.
Yeah, we do.
Actually, my mouse isn't working because it's going to the Mac, so I can't even scroll down to read it. So
I got it. Oh, Gunther. Hey, Gunther, I appreciate you so much. My ground beef is lean, so I need to add fat. If I add warm rendered fat from beef trimmings, I get diarrhea. Is that fat the same thing as tallow? If so, is it okay for me to eat cold beef tallow from the refrigerator? So, Gunther, a couple things. That is pretty much the same as tallow, absolutely. But I don't know. Well, yeah, that's the same as tallow. But so here's what I do, Gunther, is I take and I add the runny fat from the beef trimmings. That's fine. into the ground beef. So like make your ground beef and it's going to already have runny fat in it. Just try this one time and see what you think. I know it sounds a little weird, but I really like this. And this, when I was having this issue early on, this helped me get through it. So take your, take your ground beef, chop it up fine in the skillet, including all the runny fat. Then take like a 1-inch cooling rack pan, you know, it's like 1 inches by like 18 inches. Looks like a cookie sheet, but it has about a 1-inch walls on it. And dump all that ground beef and fat in there, and then take that extra fat that you want to add to it and dump that in there well as too. And if you want to, you can add the fat first, mix it up in a bowl into the ground beef, and then dump it evenly. But spread it out evenly on that cooling rack, and then let it, cover it with parchment paper or something, and then let it cool off for like 6 hours. Let it get to room temperature out in the open. Not in the refrigerator, but let it get to room temperature to where the fat gets like a real thick gravy, and it kind of solidifies like 80%, 90% too hard. And then that's how I like to eat it. And that was when it was cooled off enough and set enough that I wouldn't get as bad a diarrhea, but it was still warm enough that it wasn't just like cold and weird tasting. It was I don't know, call me weird, but back in the day, I used to like to take taco meat, and when it cooled off, and I could eat taco meat by the spoonful, and that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's kind of a weird pemmican, and so that's one thing that I do. And then you had another question. Yeah, you can absolutely eat tallow from the refrigerator. One way that I do it, tallow from the refrigerator, because this is one thing that I do. I did it again.
You do?
Is I take tallow, and then you can whip tallow with an immersion blender, or you can use like a one of the mixers, and you can whip it like you would kind of whip cream or something. You can whip up the tallow to froth it up, put it back in the fridge, but as you're whipping it up, I like to, and this is only if it doesn't cause you a problem, but I like to put Tabasco, which is vinegar based, because it helps emulsify the fat in the tallow. So when it hits your gut, you absorb it a little bit easier, because vinegar is a natural fat emulsifier. So that works pretty good. And so you basically are making a tallow Tabasco dip, and then you whip it up, put it in the fridge, let it harden. Then you take it out and you dip your pieces of steak and bacon, and you eat it like a dip, and it's pretty good. It's another way to get fat in. Hope that helps. All right. You want to take the next one, Michael, while I try to get this?
Here, I got it.
Oh, that's awesome. Perfect. I don't have to touch it.
They mailed it to me. The U.S. Postal Service. A little faster than you, Todd.
Way faster. Thank you, Tim and Michael. Yeah, so hopefully that helps you. Take a screenshot of this, but this is the iodine ratios. Tim was from Walker to Walking, was nice enough to send that to me today, and just out of Michael. So that's awesome. So take a screenshot of that, and that'll answer that question. That'll answer that question there. And hello, I'm very late. Todd's cowboy steak video was great. Oh, awesome. I appreciate it, deal. Appreciate that a lot. And am I out of questions?
Yep.
Well done. Well done. Good job.
Tim is breaking my nuts again. That's pretty funny. All right. Good job, Tim, for keeping me on my toes. It's getting better every day. Even the small victories are. Yeah, absolutely. Which reminds me, you guys got to come check out the NSV parties and SBG as well. That's awesome. One of my favorite meetings. How much to take? Oh, is it by body weight? Oh, okay. So how much do you take? So no, you have. This is completely individual. So you have to start very small. So start with like 1 drop. Take it for like 3 days, and then double it. Take it for like 3 days, add another drop, and you just work up from there. And, basically at the 5%, I take 10 drops of 5%. A lot of people take 10 to 12 drops at a high end. Some people only take 2 or 3. That would be like 20 drops to 24 drops of 2%. So you have to work up to that, up to that ratio. Basically what, there's a video by Ken Berry and Dr. Brownstein where he says that everybody should be trying to take about 50 milligrams, but you have to work up to it, especially if you have like Hashimoto's or an autoimmune disorder. A lot of people have a negative effect to it. So just be careful and work your way up to that. And then please get any questions you have in the next 9 minutes, because we'll be calling it a night here in 9 minutes. I just wanted to get all the questions. Michael, do you have any new pictures of Todd?
I do, but Todd gets mad.
You can show him. I don't even care. Give him to Tim.
Don't you have another video? Did you have another video or something? You were working on something.
I got a lot of stuff that I'm working on. I'm just posting the link to the iodine video with Dr. Berry.
Perfect.
Give me 1 second.
Thanks so much. All right. Please get your
he's taking song requests if you want a song from Todd.
I'm definitely
you might get a little dance with it.
What is the best way to start over on carnivore? I hate that I can't seem to stay faithful to eating right. So Joseph, the best way is to not beat yourself up. Don't revenge fast. Don't revenge diet. You just eat through the cravings and eat meat. And then along with that, join a community. I feel like you might already actually be in SBG. You seem familiar to me. But if you're not in SBG, I would absolutely recommend joining SBG. And again, I'll say it one more time. I am not, I don't get paid to say that. I get nothing. In fact, I donate my time there. But I so much believe in it. And I think everybody would be so much more successful if they join a carnivore community. And SBG is fantastic. Me and Lindy donate our time there. And we're in the open chat and a lot of the calls there. And I love to see you guys in there so we can actually give you a lot better, closer not one-on-one. You can get one-on-one help there, but very, 20-on-1 help in all the Zoom calls that they have there. So, all right. I think, do we have any more? 100% Tim. Very good. Do we have any more?
I love that, Tim.
That's funny. I don't mind that one because that one looks more like Tim than me.
No, it's you.
Oh. All right. Well, I'll take it, but that's funny.
You get it. You know what it is, right?
Oh yeah, respect my authority, Tim. That's all I got to say. Respect.
So who are the other people? I don't recognize the other people.
South Park.
You killed Kenny.
Yeah, the people in the back, are they? I don't know. I haven't seen.
It's all South Park characters made real life.
That's awesome.
Okay.
That's stupid.
So I thought it was a cartoon. I didn't. Is it a show as well? And they're
it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Way funny. I am day 9 into carnivore, and my gums started to hurt and swollen up a bit. It's painful to chew meat. What do I do to relieve it?
I had that problem.
What'd you
do? All the meat. It's going to take a while for it to get used to it.
Takes a little bit.
Try, softer cuts for now.
Yeah.
Do some slow cooked meats, a bit of bone broth. It's just extra chewing. Like I had really bad teeth as well, and so just that pressure of eating and chomping all the time, it did hurt. But I'm past it all now, obviously. But just go to the slow cooked meats, maybe some ground beef, bit of broth as well, and it'll fix itself up and get easier. Lean into some eggs. It's a bit easier to eat.
Yep.
Let's see. We got another one, don't we? How does it go away? Body is adjusting.
It takes time. Your gums will get stronger the more you chew. Yep.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
B-Dog's a fan of your work, Michael. Yeah, and then she says maybe rinse your mouth out with salt water. Soothe.
Yep.
Sure. All right. Well, we're down to 4 minutes. Let's see.
You got anything exciting happening this week?
Trying to think. This week's been a blur. Man, it's getting busier and busier. Well, I'm going to be making more videos, and I'm finally getting on that train. So I got I'm going to try to make, I got about 8 more cooking videos that people have requested. I'm going to try to get out, plus a few others. So I'm going to try to make 1 or 2 videos this week, which means I'll get 1 made next week. But I'm going to try hard to get it out. And then we'll be in SBG and a big busy work week and getting ready for the Montana meetup. Maybe we should put the Montana meetup for the new viewers.
Yeah, we will. Let me do that right now.
Getting ready for the Montana meetup. And so for anybody that doesn't know, we're doing a big meetup here in Bozeman, Montana for the carnivore community. And we got Bella Steak and Butter Gal and Anthony Chafee and Dr. Sean Baker and Dr. Robert Kiltz and Ellie Ellie, myself, and Carrie Mann Elle and myself and Carrie Mann, and I believe Lisa Wiederman is coming as well, and Dr. Phil Smith from the SBG gang, and many more yet to come, as well as Carnivore Ashley, or Brett, who's your carnivore, and I'm trying. Scott. Scott, how am I blanking your last name? Scott Everett.
Meat stock, is it?
Meat stock. Scott Everett's coming, so that's incredible. So anyhow, we got a big panel coming up, and more coming every day. And we have 3 events going on between July 4th and July 5th. And if you guys are interested, check out sbg.events and come hang out with us in Montana under the big sky. Perfect. Well, with that in mind, we appreciate you guys. We love y'all, and we will see you next. Oh, wait, did I see? I thought I missed one question. I just remembered that. Yes. I almost missed Anna's question.
I strongly recommend getting the band out. You won't know yourself after. Finally feel truly free. We know you're brave. Look at what you've already achieved. You can do it. Oh, thanks, Anna. Yeah, I'm a big baby.
All right. I'm glad I remembered that. All right. Well, we appreciate y'all, and we will see you next. Probably. Do we have are we doing an SBG Wednesday live stream as well this week?
No, not this week. No, we've got one on Friday Night Live.
All right. So we'll see you on the Friday Night Live, and
then Sunday for the next 700 plus.
Yeah, Friday, Sunday, and I might be on Thursday. So we'll see you then. Check it out. You guys have a good one.
Bye.
Have a good week, guys. Bye-bye.